Once again, welcome to Umaflix. The science fiction movie Time Trap from 2017 will be discussed in today's video. As the film opens, Hopper, an archaeology professor, and his dog Boss are searching for his family, who vanished in the 1970s after entering a cave in search of the Fountain of Youth. Then, he discovers a cave out in the distance. At the cave's entrance, he encounters a cowboy guy who appears to be trapped in time, and whose outfit and pistol don't appear to be from our period. Hopper turns around and returns home after being shocked by the discovery. He had apparently planned this investigation outing with his teaching assistants, Jackie and Taylor. However, once Hopper gets home, he informs them that things have changed, and the professor chooses to return to the cave by himself. Hopper finds that there is a layer dividing the atmosphere between the outer world and the cave when he enters it. The cowboy guy he discovered on his previous visit begins to move as he makes the decision to cut through the layer. The professor has been gone for 2 days, but Taylor and Jackie haven't heard from him as of yet. They, therefore, decide to search for him. Since they don't have a car of their own, they phone Taylor's crush Kara and ask to borrow her father's car. Vives, Kara's sister, reportedly also has to do a school project, so Kara decides to bring her along. Furby, a companion of Vives, is also among them. The children arrive and uncover Hopper's parents' van, where they learn that the professor has been searching for his family in the cave all along, not some hippies from the 1970s as they had been led to believe. They soon come across an ancient rope that takes them to another area of the cave. They discover the rope had been severed there and discover it was not Hopper's rope because it was already quite old. They also learn how deep the cave is. Furby is left to keep watch since he is too scared to accompany the youngsters as they decide to go deeper into the cave. Kara, who claims that it completely alters the air, finds the same invisible layer that Hopper did earlier as they descend. They make the decision to pierce the layer. Back to Hopper, he starts to feel off after he follows the cowboy man for a little while. He observes an odd dance of light. It appears as though someone is continually using a powerful flash or some other lighting source to darken and brighten the cave entrance. Then, out of nowhere, he hears a voice screaming, and he runs out of the cave. As we saw before, Hopper entered the cave when the sun was still shining, but after only a few minutes inside, the outer world had drastically changed because his automobile was now hidden by overgrown vegetation and it was now dark outside. It just seems like a few minutes inside the cave are comparable to many years outside. He also discovers Jackie's backpack and Kara's SUV, so he decides to enter the cave once again. The females decide to leave the cave, starting with Jackie, as the children continue to play and explore when they suddenly hear screams. However, the rope is abruptly severed, causing her to fall off and hurt both Jackie and Taylor who are trying to save her. When Taylor tugs the second rope, he discovers that it has also been severed. The gang starts to believe that Furby intentionally cut the rope to play about. Furby doesn't answer when they use the radio to attempt to connect with him. Finally, they pick up some muddled radio sounds that appear to be Furby calling for assistance. With no other choice, the party decides to continue moving further within the cave, leaving Jackie wounded alone. The gang finds a rope that has been cut off and Furby's dead body with a broken neck on the other side of the cave. They then rewind the video to discover what actually happened to Furby. Furby learns about the cave's magical water through Hopper's father's notebook. The family chooses to visit the cave in search of water because Hopper's sister is ill. After spending many days outside the cave, Furby makes the decision to enter in search of his companion, who he believes to be dead, in order to retrieve the vehicle keys. He experiences the entire day, whereas the rest of the gang just spends a few seconds inside the cave. Furby's rope is severed as he enters, forcing him to tumble but escape death. After being still for nearly an hour, he wakes up to speak to Taylor, but an approaching caveman suddenly strikes and kills him. Vives also notices a contradiction because they had just been in the cave for an hour, yet the time code from the tape covers several days. Only Kara and Vives are left to find a way out and make an emergency call because Taylor and Jackie are both hurt. Kara resolves to ascend using the same route they came down because Vives is younger, and she succeeds in emerging in an entirely new location. Now that the foliage has vanished, the air seems strange, and Kara is having trouble breathing. She also sees a massive dust storm heading in her direction. Then, in the sky, she spots a huge triangle-shaped object. She returns to the cave after failing to call for assistance but is accused by others of failing to make any attempt to do so. Only a few seconds had gone in the cave, although she had been outdoors for almost 30 minutes when she is accused. The gang notices that time is passing more quickly outside the cave than within, which slows down what is happening inside. In addition, Taylor notes that the ropes at the top of the cliff are deteriorating quickly, and are breaking owing to contact with the rock face. Vives notices the sun's trajectories are constantly shifting as a result of watching Furby's film again. She also shows that the brilliant is summer and the dark is winter, making one cycle of the seasons visible, in only a fraction of a second, or less than 1 second for a whole year. As a result, we can compute and find out that since they were in the cave, almost 5,400 years had elapsed on Earth. A gigantic spacesuit-clad figure and an extremely high-tech, futuristic ladder suddenly appear in the cave as Kara makes one more effort to scale the precipice. A caveman suddenly materializes and starts to assault the monster, but he is restrained non-lethally. The party makes the decision to flee to another area of the cave. They discover the cowboy guy and Hopper's parents' bodies there. 3 other cavemen come at them as well. While the girls run to the other side of the cave, Taylor decides to confront the caveman and is brutally slain. When Kara returns, she discovers his dead body. She is accosted by the extraterrestrial behemoth as she sobs for him. He carries Taylor's body to the water's edge by picking it up. The water revives Taylor in a seemingly magical way. Returning to confront the giant, the cavemen take off his helmet, exposing him to the air he is unable to breathe. He still succeeds in capturing every caveman, though. He gives the group various news clippings regarding their absence before he passes away, revealing that people had started to migrate to another planet in order to save mankind. The gang now understands there is no turning back and must choose whether to leave the area immediately or stay there indefinitely. However, Taylor finally comes upon a gravely wounded Hopper in front of a thicker layer of the wall, which also houses Hopper's long-missing sister and frozen people from different ages. Start speech, end speech engaged in a battle to take control of the youth fountain. According to Hopper, the entire cave is a system that was built to safeguard the fountain, and because each layer moves at a different speed, the deeper layer's time is passed by far more slowly than the one above it. The gang uses the water to treat the sick Jackie and the dead Furby, but the last caveman is attacking them. They choose to utilize the giant's advanced ladder to exit the cave because they have nowhere else to go. When they get to the mouth of the cave, they see that water has filled the opening. Kara tries to cut through the layer but is abruptly pulled back by weird creatures, one of whom eventually turns out to be a more advanced human. A little while later, a fully equipped Kara makes her way back to the cave, followed by a modern rope that is used to rescue everyone within, including Furby, Hopper, and Hopper's parents. Furby, Hopper, his parents, and his sister are all given new lives at the conclusion of the movie. They are currently traveling to the new Earth in a larger spacecraft. I appreciate you coming. To get new movie recaps, just like, subscribe, and click the bell icon. Thank you for watching.